Hello and welcome to week 3 of the A Link to the Past Randomizer Open League. We have a great matchup today against one team that is 4-0 and one team that is 3-1. I am Dapper Worm Man, and I am joined today by my co-commentator, Chloe Prower. How are you doing today, Chloe?
Hey, how we doing? I'm Chloe Prower and Dapper Worm, and we got our Terrell doing the restream and Ivy Karma doing the tracking. So we're in for a fun race in the Ganon's Tower bracket here. What are we looking to see today?
Yeah, that's right. Ganon's Tower bracket. This is the top two teams. We have what do we got here? 4-0. Oops, All Foxes is 4-0, while Dark Side of the Triforce is 3-1. You might have tuned in the last couple of weeks. We had all dungeons seeds for everybody. We had Fad Keys do all the dungeons. All the keys are all around. We also had the week before that co-op all dungeons where you're with your teammate in voice chat. But this week we just got to do 7 dungeons. We got to climb Aga Tower. We got to beat Ganon. Oh, and we get boots and we get sword to start off with. It's gonna go quick. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, expecting a nice quick race today. Both of these runners also have 3 matches under their belt too. They both played double headers in the first week. WGarrison with a 2-1 overall record and Zaruvyen with a 3-0 record. But both of them are known to be pretty heavy execution powerhouses. I know Zaruvyen tends to be a bit of a wild card, as people say. He has really aggressive routing. So we'll see if WGarrison's more consistent playstyle can top that.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see that, as we see Zaruvyen getting that nice little dash stop. And of course, you do start with the sword, but don't get that sword animation started until you actually talk to your uncle. So that's why you see Zaruvyen going through those bushes there.
Yep, even without the sword animation, you can still take out the bushes. It cuts a little bit of time down. Big 20. But after you talk with Uncle, you get your sword, and we're off with a bow in Secret Passage.
All right, well, that's nice. Always nice to find that. In this mode, there are 2 bows, and the first one you get is the bow, and the second one is the silvers. So obviously that's going to be the first one for both of our runners as they make their way actually into the castle here.
Wouldn't be out of the ordinary to run to Eastern right away with that. We do have to still do the escape sequence, and standard lets you get these checks out of the way without having to think too hard about when you're going to actually do Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, normally when you're there we get a triple bomb pack in the first chest and escape there. Normally in a standard siege, you're hoping to get a bomb to access that secret passage in the back with 3 chests, but in boots you can just in casual boots you can just run through it. But both these runners obviously getting their bombs, so they're set up to do some more checks later in the game that require the bombs.
Yeah, it looks like green guards are on the arrow pack. Supposedly RNG between drops is now the same, but Ruby definitely has more arrows, so that doesn't matter too much. It might be a little quicker to kill the ball and chain guard with the 4 arrows than trying to do the 8 slashes, though.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna have to see if either of these runners remembers that 4 arrows can quickly take down that ball and chain card. Yeah, but one of the hot fixes that's come out in the last month or so, as you mentioned, was the item drops in Escape are actually seeded. Normally in the game, they're sort of randomized. It's a 50-50 whether or not you're going to get an item drop. But in our standard opens, which this seed is, the 50-50 will come up the exact same amount of time. And obviously, throughout the entire game, each enemy group is in the same prize pack for both runners. So, if Garrison kills a few more guards, they're going to find some more arrows along the way since they are in that prize pack. But you don't really take the time to kill guards in this escape. You're just trying to get there in as close to 5 minutes as you can.
We also did get a map check early, so Eastern early might not be a terrible idea. It's crystal, and you can nail it out of the way. But there's also the gamble to come back later with hammer and mirror and just do it with pod. Um, but we're still cruising through escape, 3.5 minutes coming back this way. Hoping to get sub 520 for the quick escape times. Might be tight though for them to get that close, but they're definitely going to get 530 at this rate.
Yeah, you like to see that. That arrow's just going to make some of the rooms just a little bit faster. Maybe that key rat room, you can sort of fire the arrow and maybe get lucky with the RNG, where that key rat goes. But, you know, obviously, half second here, half second there doesn't really matter. But if you're consistently clearing rooms faster, you're probably going to be able to get more checks and defeat your opponent, hopefully.
Moving into the back of escape now. 3 checks back here. We haven't seen the map yet. There's always that chance that the map is just in Sanctuary, and then you feel bad whenever you grab the chest. So, we'll see how that goes. Three items and some health. There's some paper.
Yeah, there is that map that you mentioned. So Garrison's just coming out a little bit ahead here. You might recognize WGarrison's name from the Challenge Cup this past tournament season, coming in 4th overall in that tournament. So
Yeah.
sort
Yeah,
of expected to find them just a little bit ahead, but of course, Zaruvyen also coming in there at about 520.
Yep. Almost synced up getting into Sanctuary, so you know, spicy start for sure. You can tell these two have both been practicing and going for their executions.
And don't forget to check Bonk Rocks and Casual Boots. It's right there. Oh, we get a bottle. That'll be nice to go into Kakariko with. Looks like it was a B there. If they happen to quick swap, we can see if it's a good B or a bad B. Or maybe just a not as good B. If you do get that golden B, you can turn it into the bottle vendor for $100. And that'll be pretty useful.
Did find a 300 in escape, so it's not looking like they're going to be hurting on money with that tier 2 20 rupee prize pool. And 8 bombs from the bush crab. Okay. Yeah. This was not a standard start. That would be amazing.
Yeah, game just giving you all the good things. We got the red rupees on the tree pole. Those bombs, yeah. Get ready, folks. It's going to be fast and furious here, especially with that bow. We've got a dungeon kind of able to beat right now. We don't have a fire source, but I don't think these runners are going to have any problem going through some of those dark rooms in Eastern.
Now, Eastern navigation in the dark is not going to be an issue for these two. Garrison taking the time to pick up that $20. I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to matter too much, but I guess he's aiming for that early 600 to make sure Zora is in play. But here we go into Kakariko, the densest early game ever. Yes, Lumberjack was a $20 bill. We're hoping for something, but it's not showing up.
Yeah, be surprised if we don't find something here in Kakariko, but it's not here in Blind Cell.
Yeah, this is pretty empty so far. That stinks. First 5 checks being nothing always feels a little bad.
The one good thing is, your opponent's going to come here. They're good if at any point when they do come to Kakariko, they're going to check everything. So,
Yeah, you can't skip Kakariko forever. And we got an orb.
all right, that's fun to have. We're going to need that to beat the game. More arrows in the back of the well. Don't really need those.
Oh, bow 2. Alright, well, cool.
I wonder if the game is trying to tell you something.
It was a good V. Garrison grabbing the $100 in a green potion. Almost vanilla. Bottle plus.
All right. Well, I don't really think that extra 100 is going to come into play. As you mentioned, they found that 300, and we know the tree pull's worth about 80 every time. So Zora money is going to be pretty easy to farm for whoever, if anybody ends up a little bit short. As we get turning in that bottle, we got 2 bottles. Oh, and you can use one of them for a glove.
Ruby is sitting under the 500 for Zora. Be interesting to see if Garrison routes South Shore and does the water walk to get to Zora fast.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to go into Eastern, but I really like the idea of doing a lot of more overworld. As you were mentioning, the comboing Pod and Eastern together is a really big time save. We've got 2 of our 3 pieces of uh, that we need for Dark World access. Hopefully that mirror shows up. So I wouldn't be surprised if one or both of these runners just goes on to South Shore and does some more usual early game checks.
Yeah, we didn't find a lot in CAC. Gloves doesn't unlock anything right now. And double bows just kind of makes you want to go to Eastern still. And a Quake. Um, doesn't unlock anything still, but maybe in the future. So 11 minutes in, and they're still on the same screen with each other. So, yeah. And a sync going into Dame.
Yeah, we played 11 minutes, and both these runners are step for step still. Kind of like to see it, though. It's good. That just kind of bodes well for this race. It's going to come down to just the little things here and there, maybe taking a gamble into a pendant dungeon or something like that. Speaking of which, we did get a map check. Our one pendant here in the Light World is Tower of Hera, which we can't even get to yet, so not really on our minds at this moment. And there's a nice blue cane in the sunken treasure spot.
Moving on to Mini Moldorm next. Both of them look like they have the 500 they need for Zora. So I can expect this to be an Ice Rod Cave to water walking route at this point. It's pretty good. It gets rid of most of the checks, but it does feel like you isolate catfish a little bit when you do it this way.
Yeah, that is true, but with boots, nothing is too far away. We do get our second sword here. And a red boomerang.
Yeah,
So
one
still
red
not
boomerang.
a lot of moving the seed forward, but we are getting there.
Well, when we are able to do stuff, we'll definitely have the equipment for it. Ooh, Ruby taking a crab hit there. Puts him at puts him in the killing range. Those crabs are vicious on the right side here.
Yeah, I think it's one of the only Light World enemies that does 2 hearts of damage, which kind of hurts when you only have about 3 to start with.
Oh, that's the lamp. So if you wanted to see Aga, that is now in logic. So they still
Yeah.
have stuff to do.
Yeah, it also puts all of Eastern Palace in logic. I like using that what is it? No, the fake flip, not fake flipper, but the water walk set up here. You're right here. You've come all this way. At least go check the hobo or something.
Yeah, it's a bit of a swim if you check the hobo this way because you can't save your water walk unless you do the fake flippers into the water. But I think it still makes sense to do the waterfall ferry and go to Zora at this point, which I see both of them are doing. It's a fun clip. The first time I did it, I managed to leave the screen and fall into the water and soft lock the game. So
Ooh.
don't do that.
Yeah, and of course, when you are in this fake flipper state, because we don't have the real flippers, you have to be careful. Any damage you take is just going to kill you. In the vanilla game, it does sort of soft lock you or hard lock you, but in the randomizer game, that was very close. The programmers were nice enough to just let it kill you, so you could save all your progress.
Yes. Fairy is given out. Green potion. Green goo. So nothing here. We do have the 2 checks on the mountain. We have Agina and we have Eastern area. Single rupee on the ledge. And gonna throw some money at a fish. He threw some money back. Considerably less, but, as is.
Not a great return on investment there. So both of our runners now sort of at a crossroads, go up the mountain or use that lamp and go into Eastern Palace area. It looks like Ruby is going into Eastern.
Yeah, it's hard not to follow the crystal at this point. You are running out of density, and this is the most dense place that you have.
Ruby setting up a nice spin speed there. And gonna find 3 items here in the back of Saha's closet.
Mm. Very explosive old man today. So here's the question. If you do Eastern, and you know you have Aga and Logic, at what point do you decide to go to Aga or still fish for that hammer?
Yeah, I believe both runners are going to use the next 2 or 3 minutes to think about that very question. Unless Hammer shows up here, they're pretty much got to do Aga or do a couple of checks just kind of far, far away that might just be faster to do later. So I think they're both really hoping to find the hammer first.
That's a mushroom.
Yeah, and that opens up one more of those just really out of the way checks. Although with boots, it doesn't make it too hard to set up like a fake flipper from Link's house or something like that. But you still got to take care of it. You still got to invest the time.
Yeah, you can do a quick save and quit. So let me get your take on this. If you find 2 of the items in Eastern, do you decide to go for big key chests, or do you go straight for the boss on the 50/50?
Guess I kind of remember, or it kind of matters what those 2 items are. We did get one, a unique item there in that mushroom that opens up some one more check. So
Right.
and we do get the big key on the right. So now at this point, we can find the map. So there is 2 more items here in Eastern. One of them's going to be in the front here. One could be in the back, and the other could be in that vanilla big key chest.
I found a compass, which does put an item in the big key chest, though.
Yeah, I think if you have the lamp and you know there's 100% an item back there, and you have the boots, let's just go check it. Don't want to last location something here.
Honestly, if I have 2 items, I always take the 50-50 gamble myself. Just go for the boss.
Yeah,
But
I don't
then
know if I always do it, but I do it probably more times than not, to be honest. If we get a big heart, that's welcome, but kind of thinking with the item layout, your opponent is going to have also done that, so not too bad of a time loss or anything.
yeah, I mean, there's a high chance that they know they're on pace with their opponent right now. Ruby having just maybe a room or 2 lead on WGarrison, but without finding any progression, it's hard to say what the correct call is. I mean, you don't expect the entire first sphere to be just empty.
Yeah, or just give you 2 bows when one would have definitely sufficed.
I mean, we've certainly found things, but doesn't really lead to much right now. And with only 1 more item in Eastern, you gotta think they only have 4 more checks in Logic. At least without doing the wizard.
Right, and just going to Aga Tower after this is not going to open up another dungeon you can beat. It will open up some checks in Pod and Catfish, but as we get our nice Armos fight to there by Zaruvyen, 1 crystal down, first blood has been drawn at 2030.
With even more money that they are set for at the seed. So we got Agina, we got 2 checks on the mountain, we got 1 at Pyramid, and then either 4 or 5 in Pod.
Yeah, there could logically be 1 on the boss, which we cannot get to since we do not have the hammer, which is kind of why I would personally maybe invest a little bit more time in the light world, try and find that hammer.
And yeah, like you said, Ruby's gonna do the fake flippers over to witches and turn in that mushroom right quick. And I think Garrison's just hot on his heels doing the same thing.
Yeah, you could use that statue there and bonk, and that puts you right on the farthest left pixel that you can jump into the water and move to the next screen at the same time. That puts you in water, the fake flipper state. Oh, and the mushroom turn is nothing, so Zaruvyen is hard resetting back to their last save state, gonna preserve that mushroom. So even though they turned it in, they're still gonna have it in their inventory, which is gonna possibly be useful later for another check.
And Garrison is saving and quitting, so first tiny bit of divergence this seed is that Ruby is saving the mushroom.
Hey, after 22 minutes, I'll take something. I'll take some divergence.
So we are seeing those 2 mountain checks next. Get to take a peek at Spec Rock too, but no mirror means we don't get to actually get that item.
Yeah, and it's nice to have this save and quit point. If Flute doesn't show up anytime soon, you're gonna have to take this walk at some point eventually. So this is not really almost even a question. It's like, let's just do this. Let's get it out of the way. We're gonna have to do it eventually.
Yeah, this is free anyways, just doing that walk.
And it is in logic too, so that is good to keep in mind. And Old Man was nothing. We're gonna get inside Spectacle Rock here.
Nice bomb wiggle up the mountain. It's a cute little trick if you're holding an item. You can use the spin speed to get up the stairs faster.
And nothing in Spectral Rock, so I've got Agina Cave over by Desert Palace or Aga. Which AG do you
Honestly,
want to do?
if you're at this point, you kind of just full clear Light World and hope your opponent has done the same. But also, you're still just a hammer from Dark World access, and Agina likes holding on to stuff.
Yeah, if the hook shot had showed up, I might have gone into Aga Tower because that's going to provide a lot more access when you get to Dark World. So
I don't know. I think you do Paradox first.
Oh yeah. If the hook shot had shown up, I would have done that, of course. But thank you.
Maybe the hook shot's just here. Who knows? And here it is. Are we killing a wizard? We're killing a wizard.
All right, we promised a quick seed. We promised 7 dungeons. We lied. It's 8 dungeons at least.
We're giving you a +1. Looks like WGarrison decided not to go for Agina and decided just to climb the mountain. Or climb the tower. That's going to give him a minor lead here.
Yeah, certainly. That's pretty significant too. So we'll have to keep that in mind, as they were pretty much step for step the entire game up until that point. So we know that their execution is pretty close to each other. And let's see how if both of them can clear Aga Tower quickly and efficiently here.
Yeah, silvers and 7 hearts. You're definitely geared for this tower, though, so it's all about how quick you can get up it now. But we get to see our favorite kind of RNG. How many blue balls does Aga have today for you?
Yeah, and that is going to be seeded. Both runners will have the same amount, as long as they connect on all of the not blue balls. They will have a pretty similar Aga finish time. And both these runners probably getting flashbacks to last week when they played Fad Keys. All the Castle Towers keys are in their vanilla location in this mode as well.
It's convenience at this point.
And just taking a peek at chat here, FFX Faith asking for Vanilla Hammer and Pod. That would be pretty nice. We'll see if any of the runners go immediately to Pod, or if they're going to check maybe Catfish first. But those are their only 2 options after Aga here.
Yeah, it's tough to say. Definitely do a map check as soon as you get to Dark World with this seed. You want to know if finishing Pod is worth it, or you just, going for the items.
Yeah, neither of them checked it up when they were on Death Mountain, which is pretty normal to not check it unless you're actually transversing through the Dark World to go into Hera or something. So we will wait and see with them what all 7 dungeons have for us.
I lost kind of blue balls already.
Well, hopefully our friendly chat can help us out. Yeah, I sort of lost track of. I think I maybe saw 1. There was one here after the first lightning.
Probably tell and when he dies, but well, he didn't die on that hit, so there was at least 1 in phase 1. So if he dies on the next one, it was 3.
Oh, this is a guaranteed, and there we go.
3.
So 2755 WGarrison in. We'll see just how much behind Zaruvyen is officially. And one check here is the pyramid. That's our hammer.
Okay, there you go.
Oh boy, thanks game.
So do you do pod now? Ooh, pendant pod. There's a bit of early spice. I like that.
Wow, well, you basically have to get your next thing of progression.
No, you could just save and quit and go to
Oh, that's right, that's right.
you can go where you want now. Um
I mean, Garrison saying, I'm in the Dark World. I've already beat Eastern. There's no reason to come back later. I don't even have a flute.
nope.
Maybe go into Hype Cave here, yeah.
He's going to height, yeah. We had 5 and 6 on ice and Skull Woods, and I believe Meyer was our green pendant, if I was correct.
Yes, and Zaruvyen confirming that for you right there. Thank you. Oh, we find a nice fire rod. All right, now the seed is giving us some stuff.
Yeah, I think you put off pendant pod for now. Unless you're feeling pretty ballsy. I mean, they say never skip pendant bod, but sometimes you skip pendant bod.
I mean, there's only 5 items there. What could possibly be in Pendant Pod?
Exactly. But yes, this is a good hype cave. We're gonna see WGarrison go on to Stumpy and the dig game. Couple other checks, no mirrors, so we'll have to save and quit from here. But I think we're gonna see him run to Village of Outcasts afterwards and go into the Dark World from that direction. And I think Ruby's gonna follow his path.
Yep, so we're going to get more similarities here. I mean, with that hammer, we have fully clearable, fully in logic Thieves Town. With that fire rod, we have fully clearable, fully in logic Skull Wood. So, you know, let's not go into the pendant just quite yet. I think both these runners are thinking.
Five digs for the dig game for another big 20. And looks like Garrison is off to Village of Outcasts. This is good though. You have all of Light World cleared, and you're probably fairly sure your opponent did the same. It's hard to tell how comfortable these two are feeling right now. I guess both of them feel like they may have last located the Aghanim, or the Aghanim play, but I mean, if I was in their shoes, it would be hard to resist checking all of the Light World before doing it.
Yeah, I agree. It's you really didn't want to have to do Aga, especially because you know there was nothing on the Lumberjack tree. Both of our runners did check that. So let's see here. Garrison got to go up to Skull Woods. Probably gonna try and complete that before going over to Thieves Town.
Yeah, Skullwoods and Thieves Town are both crystals, so and you have everything you need to full clear both of them. It's kind of hard to resist because Skullwoods is kind of just overworld. I wouldn't say the seed is linear, but it's giving you some very strong hints on where it wants you to go. Ooh.
Oh, WGarrison getting grabbed by that hand. That doesn't feel good.
You're getting the big hand in the face.
I do like the use of the boomerang there, the boomerang to stun those Gibdos. Little known fact, I don't see a lot of people actually use the boomerang on those, but hookshot does not stun them.
Yeah, they're immune to hookshot stun, but not the boomerang one, which is weird. Ooh, and Ruby is taking a death from the Gibdos. They can body you for 2 hearts apiece, so they can drain that health bar pretty quick if you're on just green mail.
That room is one of the harder ones when you don't have just the red cane to god mode it, basically. So
fortunately,
no
not the
shame.
worst. worst death in the world, though, so... Let me see if we can take another death here to just get back to the entrance quicker. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that, without the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Good
We have
heads-up
to
play
move the
there.
statue again. Plus, I think they get 5 hearts now with their health, yeah. And Garrison doing the same after getting the compass out of the bridge chest, it looked like.
All right, so we still got a couple of items here in Skullwoods. We got a key and a compass, so makes routing a little bit easier when you do find that key. Although we're going to end up using it here on the... Or no, we're not going to end up using... Yeah, they're going to get the free one in the back. So they will have a key to clear the front of Skullwoods.
Yeah, I think you grab the key out of the back anyways, just because you want to be able to do the front of Skullwoods without... Ooh, Garrison missing his torch shots. He's got to redo the fire room.
Yeah, Zaruvyen spending the time there to grab that key. You know that the moth cannot drop the key because it is logically locked behind all 3 Skullwoods keys. So
Yep.
don't want to take a chance and then have to do Skullwoods the bad way.
So they're dropping in at the same time. This is not an easy fight with their current loadout. But we see Garrison using hammer strats, Zaruvyen using a fire and slashes, both of them taking it out with no problem.
That was really nice on both sides of the screen. No matter who you were looking at, you got a good fight there. And I think they dropped arrows or something, so one of the 2 items is down.
And we are back to neck and neck again. Oh, Zaruvyen didn't grab the bridge chest yet, so he's got to go back for that. That is 2 crystals in. There's also a possibility of Pyramid Fairy being on the table. Just need the mitts in order to get into... Well, the mitts and flippers to put it into logic, I guess.
Yeah. We can't get in there without the flippers if the mitts do show up, but I think staying in logic is pretty good, but it's eventually, if that's the only thing holding you up is not having flippers, I think going in there is at any point really a good play. And there is that hook shot, item number 2 in Skullwoods.
That is good to see. Always glad to see a good hook shot nice and early.
For sure.
Garrison moving on to Bumper Ledge. Just 3 blueberries up there. And we're gonna go through the Village of Outcasts loop. Hookshot unlocks a lot of the mountain now, but now that you have the hookshot, do you put it off waiting for mitts? Or do you hope the mitts are up there so that you can full clear it?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got to hope for mitts, but I think that is probably the next play if something else doesn't show up here in Thieves Town or Village of Outcasts, because it's basically either the mountain or pendant pod. Both of them aren't too bad, but the mountain is going to be a lot faster and more checks and efficient use of the time, I think.
I think, didn't we just find our boots there in chess game?
Oh, was that a green?
I think it was
20.
20.
Hello, Boots. Nice to find you.
Yep, green 20. Boots in chess game.
Well, in this mode, it's always funny to see, but doesn't have any logical implications, and we haven't really found anything locked behind the boots anyway, so doesn't matter. It's just glad to have them early, go fast, We are 38 minutes into the seed, though, and only 2 crystals done. Both runners in their third dungeon. And we'll be getting their third crystal here in about maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, the allure of doing a full Thieves Town all at once is too much. It's a pretty quick dungeon. There's not a lot you can skip in it, so getting it done now is probably the best. It's 4 items, and it's not super difficult unless you run into everything.
Yeah, and both of them, I do believe, picked up that blue cane, so that'll be nice if you do run into trouble on any of these enemies or the boss blind.
We did find that small key, so they will have the chance to get the big chest.
Zaruvyen, with the nice knowledge there of what pot in that big room has a heart under it, and then using the hook shot to get the minor glitch of getting 2 hearts for 1.
Yeah, you gotta love that frame roll knowledge. Use the hook shot. You have a chance of just getting 2 hearts. No one really knows why.
And we get a vanilla 3-pack of bombs in the attic there. Sorry, you were saying about the hook shot heart glitch. Nobody knows why, but we're all glad it happens.
It's something to do with subpixels, where it registers that it's on the link for 2 frames instead of 1. But yeah, I don't particularly know. I don't pretend to know.
And then the game getting Zaruvyen back there. That cockroach on the screen he's on now dropped a heart, but just hadn't appeared enough for Ruby to pick it up when he was crossing over left to right. But we are fast approaching here, the big chest here. Let's see what we get. It's going to be an item. It is just $20.
Oh man, try next. My hero, as always. He has a dissertation of whenever I have a question. I will definitely read that after.
Okay, that is going to be required reading for anybody who wants to watch the next restream of any League race.
There will be a quiz by the time we get to Ganon's Tower.
And Blind drops another $20, so we are back to having a few bad options for both of our runners. So Garrison going to get out of this dungeon in about 42 minutes, and Zaruvyen's going to be not that far behind. Garrison taking the save and quit. Probably going up the mountain with that hook shot.
Mountain's a good call. That gives you the 7 in Paradox, 1 in Spiral, and then you got Hera accessible as well. Blind says ladders are always up to something, but in my experiences are just as likely to let you down. Thanks, Ben. Please don't fall off the ladders.
Yeah, ladders can also go left and right if you use them wrong, but usually they go up and down. So we got, speaking of up and down, I don't know which way Paradox is here. The middle is the bottom is the middle, the top is the top. That's good.
At least the top is the top. That's all that matters.
Oh, and you were waiting for the mitts to go up the mountain? Well, they're just sitting here. Just sitting in Paradox Cave.
Yeah, I mean, I guess another runner would have gambled not coming up here, but that wasn't these two runners today who, after 43 minutes, have decided to not do anything differently.
Yeah, really the 2 minute difference is Zaruvyen having checked Agina Cave before doing Agate Tower, and that's about the what minute difference between these two?
Yeah, credit where it's due. Garrison has held on to that lead that he gained from skipping Agina. Meyer being a pendant means that Flute can just be in GT and we'll never see it, and that'll just be time that Zaru just doesn't get back.
Yeah, you think Garrison would eventually check that when they go do Desert Palace, but it'll probably be a lot more efficient since they'll be able to do two things in that area at the same time. So, going to extend or not extend that minute or so lead. Oh, and Zaruvyen saying, "I don't want to do the bomb jump. I'm just gonna go through the vanilla way."
That bomb jump is specifically impossible. Like, you can practice it a million times and still just mess it up.
And really nice spin speed Harapot there, or hook speed Harapot by Garrison. Yeah, that Paradox Cave bomb jump, I'm good at it sometimes and terrible at it other times. It's just, maybe that's a sub-pixel thing too.
But yeah, we're seeing a quick Hera. Hera with the hook shot means you can do it in and out in under a minute. Even clear and everything.
And we get the worst middle floor in Hera with the map and compass in the big chest and the compass chest.
Ooh, that means either the small key or the last item is on Moldorm. And in my experience, it's never the item.
Yeah, I think no matter what happens here, you're going to have to go in. I mean, it's a pendant, so you don't really care about beating the boss. Yeah,
Mhm.
and this is sort of the dead end. Oh, I guess they do have the dark mountain over there, but this is a tough call. This might be another divergence. And Garrison says, I feel comfortable skipping that. I don't have the mirror. I don't want a death warp. I'm just going to check where there's a lot of stuff over here.
Yep. Harrison is looking to head into Dark World. He's gonna get his no. Oh, he's gonna make sure to do Spiral Cave. He doesn't want to forget that. This is fair. I think you just walk and check Turtle Rock. You're not going into Turtle Rock without the cane anyways. And even if you find it in here, the odds that it's Quake are pretty low.
Yeah, and you don't want to bank on having found the mirror to come and map up the spiral cave. Just check it now. Oh, and it is the ice rod, which is required.
Yeah, that's just there. No ice rod hunt today. And we are actually getting close. 3 items. Uh, Flips, mirror, and TR medallion.
Yeah, we're going to need the red cane, too, to get into Turtle Rock. That'll help with Ice
Oh.
Palace, too.
Yeah, and a cane.
Ruby making the same choice to do Spiral Cave first. They're going to be happy to see that blue cane. I'm sorry, blue rod. So we've got 6 checks here. Hopefully we get some goods that'll lead us to our next piece of progression, our next dungeon. Nothing in Super Bunny Cave, though.
Just more blueberries. Start our own blueberry patch. And
find...
even more money.
Yeah. Just what I was going to say. Get some arrows. There's a shovel. That opens up one more check.
So nothing up here. We
Yeah,
found
hopefully
an ice rod and a shovel and the mitts, I guess.
Yeah, so this might be one of those times where, as we were talking about earlier, going to Ice Palace, not in logic and not fast, but might just be useful to go in there and get something and get a crystal done.
Garrison wants to do Spike Cave, is looking a little low on health though. And no luck from the bushes there. He's got a green. I think he can do it with the green and the blue cane. Technically, I think he can do it with just the blue cane, but...
Yeah, gonna have to be really careful on 1.5 hearts of when they're gonna refill this bottle and use the blue cane again.
For
I think
some
they're
reason,
grabbing
there's
on.
no spikes behind the torches. I don't know if you knew that, but it's an interesting thing. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's a big item.
Oh, and Ruby just saved and quit too out of hook shot. Ooh. That gets a minor oof for me because we did a practice last night and Go Mode was in Spike Cave there too.
Yeah, the good news is there's, with a save and quit from Old Man on the mountain, that's pretty quick to go back to. The bad news is there's also a lot of things to do before then, so...
That mirror is very required. It doesn't unlock a lot for Garrison right now until he finds the flippers, though. And I think this is going to be our point of divergence, actually.
Yeah, Garrison's probably doing Smith Chain sort of in reverse here, getting K45. Or maybe I'm wrong, but they are... yeah, that is our second part of divergence here in this seed, and it's proving pretty big, we think.
Yeah, the biggest question I think right now is going to be when does Ruby go back to Spike Cave? I mean, it's definitely an advantage for Garrison. We'll have to see what happens. I don't know if the better situation being that stuff is locked behind the mirror for Ruby, or if stuff is not. Because finding the flippers will drag, I think, Ruby to Ice Palace at this point. And consequently, to do Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, there's honestly not a lot of checks that are available without that mirror. So eventually they are going to get, sort of sucked in there unless they find some other big pieces of progression. But, obviously seeing the time bleeding here without the mirror, it's going to be faster to do this frog, Smith Chain, checking the shovel, staying in Light World, saving, quitting, all that stuff. So
Yeah, this alone is going to cost Ruby a little bit of time. Finding Bombos teases Ice Palace a little bit more, but no flippers still doesn't keep him in logic. Also, neither of the runners did Hera Basement, which does still have an item down it. They both have decided to put that off.
as we're going to get pretty close, similar Smith turn-ins, although by different routes. And of course, it's just more money.
300, number 4. There's only 5 in the game, and we definitely found them. Well, maybe not all of them, but close enough. So Ruby has to go all the way back around to Portal in order to get this purple chest.
Yeah, and I think after that for Zaruvyen, it's catfish, pod, and I think that's pretty much it for them. So, you know, if they do go into pod because it's sort of item dense and there's a couple of pieces of progression in there, that could be good for them, even though they don't have the mirror. So we will see what they do after turning in this purple chest.
Yeah, I think Garrison is going to go all the way to Graveyard Ledge, which getting that off an orphan list is usually good, but it is a hike, especially when you have boots and are carrying the purple chest with you. It kind of slows you down a little bit.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't
Drop
fear.
it.
Don't drop it just yet. Thankfully, Garrison remembered what they were doing. I did see Garrison doing sort of the hook. You hook onto something and then you can run with the chest and it'll still follow you, and didn't seem to quite get it and just said, I'm just going to walk. I
Yeah,
trust that.
yeah, in the animation it takes to catch up to you, you can dash away from it. You do the same thing with the big bomb. So nothing on Smiths. I think that's going to drag Ruby to Pod at this point. Hard to resist Pod being really the only thing in logic besides Catfish for him.
Yeah, they're using the Aga portal here because Aga 1 was defeated.
And I imagine Garrison might be doing the same here. Or, well, Garrison has to turn in his purple chest for his little piece of love, but...
All right, we are going into Pendant Pod. Any Leorias in chat? And the game has been very generous to us. We definitely have 110 rupees to get into Pod. Let's just give some of them to Kiki the monkey.
Get in Pod for the next 9 runners as well.
And here is Garrison after turning in that purple chest, going to use the fact that they're about a screen away from Agina to check that. So Zaruvyen's early pay, sort of early play there, paying off now with the time.
Zaruvyen checked Desert Ledge, but it was just a bug net, so... Flute would give us Mire access, which conversely would give us Pedestal access if we found Kane. No key on the front, so we have to do the bow block side. No choice. Doing Pod without the mirror is a little bit frustrating. You have to take some death warps. They haven't found any armor, so there's a lot of things in the dungeon that just do full health, full heart of damage. But I think Garrison's Pod is going to be a little bit faster too.
Yeah, they both have the hammer, so ideally if they get the other item up here or in the arena bridge chest, they won't have to get any of the other keys. And as we do have to remember, this is a pendant, so we may not have to beat this boss.
So far 3 keys, or no, 2 keys in a map. So Ruby's gonna go straight to big key chest.
All right, so not taking the chances that the second item was just, or sorry, the second non-key item was just sitting there in the front, and just gonna full clear all 6 chests the most efficient way they know how. There could also be 5 keys in the front, and it could just be super trolly, putting none in the first chest and then 5 in the rest.
Yeah, getting the knowledge that it's a 5 key chest, a 5 key front is actually pretty good. It definitely means that you won't be skipping harmless if you do find those keys. but Ruby's heading to the back with all the density back there. Has not found any items, but there's the flippers.
All right, so Ruby's definitely going to keep going. You know, Flippers opens up Ice Palace, but there might be some other stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if Garrison just takes that and goes to Ice Palace or something.
That
But
wouldn't be a terrible play. He has 2 items go mode after he grabs those flippers.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Garrison does the little bonk here to get that item a little quicker. We know it's quicker because we've seen the rest of the chests. Garrison does not, obviously.
So Harmless Hallway is also key for key, it sounds like. So we're going to the Dark Maze. Garrison got the flips. He is mirroring.
Yeah, I think they're going to save and quit to the light. Mirror to light world. Yeah. Not too surprised. They probably maybe kicking themselves for not just having fake flippered into ice or something. But you know, they did invest a lot of time coming over here and got that. Of course, that also opens up swamp for them. It's fully clearable.
So Ruby finishing off and not finding anything else in the back there. Ice Palace and Swamp are both open now, so Ruby's gonna probably hike it over to Ice Palace while Garrison finishes up Swamp.
Yeah, so we're looking for that red cane. We're looking for Ether to get us into Turtle Rock. And that book or a flute. So one of 2 items for our 3rd go mode item.
Oh yeah, we do need something to get into Desert. So still 3 items.
And Ruby just doing a double check. I'm never gonna fault anybody for doing a check just in case.
Yeah, Ruby's I think is gonna finish this and go for Pyramid Fairy right after. It's always good to get Pyramid Fairy out of the way. Feel like Ice Palace. Well, there's Ether for free. Oof, no cane, so at least Ruby can't do all of Turtle Rock yet, but
It is nice to find that Turtle Rock medallion before you find, you know, like flute or something that might open up Misery Mire with the other 2 medallions, considering Misery Mire is a pendant.
and so we get to see the less common IPBJ from Ruby here. Without the cane to do the icebreaker glitch, they're gonna just hop over these pegs a little bit and go from there.
And a really quick one there, right there by Zaruvyen.
Yeah, that
well
was
done.
a quick setup. Don't think Garrison did left side swamp. He might just be going straight to the back to start with. Haven't been keeping track of how many he's found. There's
So we
the
get the
big key.
that'll make going back to left side swamp if Garrison does do that a little bit nicer.
Yeah, there's at least I mean, there's at least one item, but I haven't really seen him picking up map or compass for this, so could be as many as 3 items that he's leaving in swamp. Being a 6-item dungeon, that's half the items. But here is an Argus fight.
And we still haven't found a third sword, so we're doing spins here.
Weird, the seed gave him 2 swords really early and nothing since. Yeah, at least they got silvers.
I'll make that trade every day.
Alright, looks like Garrison takes a dungeon lead, being 4-3 on Ruby, but Ruby is in their 4th still.
And Garrison going back for left side swamp. Don't want to leave anything here. And remembering to check the big chest with the big key, that's just 10 arrows.
Ruby found a book. Yeah. That's 2 dungeons accessible now with that. Though we can't actually still do Turtle Rock without the cane. But we are almost in no mode here.
Book is really nice to find. See if Ruby is able to sort of route in the Bombos tablet there on their way to desert, since they do not have the flute.
Sadly, they still don't have the mirror, so they can't do Bombos. They could tease them back up to Ether.
That is right. You do need that mirror for that Bombos tablet. And Master Sword, Cold Stare. Oh, we've got a green potion. Let's use it. Get those fire rod shots back in there.
You're playing Wizard against the Cold Stare today, which is good because that does Gold Sword slash damage. Ruby picking up their 4th crystal. Has a couple things ahead of them now. I think they're going to probably do Pyramid Fairy and Desert.
Yeah, we will see which order they do them in. As left side swamp is nothing.
Not having anything. Ice Palace was cane locked, so man, I don't know if Ruby's thinking about the logic, but he should know that cane can't be on Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, that is the one thing I do know about that Ice Palace logic. If the key is on Cold Stare, a small key, then that is Samaria locked. So the game did expect us to have the Cane of Samaria when we defeated that. Not necessarily when we got the book out earlier, but when we did beat the boss.
Right, at least the prize itself, and yeah, Cold Stare. But yeah, looks like Garrison is gonna follow Ruby into ice. Well, Ruby's going into desert. There's a non-zero chance that Kane is just in here, or something equally terrible like a flute. And we have just a vanilla cane.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this game. It could be anywhere. And knowing that Samaria was expected to be ahead when we beat the boss is kind of adding insult there to our runners, because we could have used that cane for that nice icebreaker trick, but we don't really know where it is, and neither runner knows this, but the other runner also didn't have the cane when they went to Ice Palace, so really no harm, no foul there.
We're picking up the big key and the first item in Desert. So just one more left. Should have already seen the bug net, so there's not a lot ahead of them.
All right, there is that cane locked behind the book that we did find in Ice Palace. So now, when the runners find that, they're going to know that there's pretty much no way that the opponent left to use the book before defeating Cold Stare.
Yep, and we are in no mode now. So right now, they are neck and neck for dungeon clears. Ruby and Garrison are both one item from go mode, Garrison being 2 items from go mode. Gonna find his book here at this rate, and if that leads him to Desert right away, that will be his go mode.
Yeah,
Ruby
and with the oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was just say, with the key on Cold Stare that we were talking about, with that lock being locked by Samaria, I don't think Garrison is going to check the Pyramid Fairy before doing Desert, because Desert, being the crystal, and you want to do the dungeons first. So they're going to be hopefully going there pretty soon after Ice here.
Yeah, I think we see Ruby might just go clear all of Turtle Rock right now. That probably feels like his most solid play. I think he might get the mirror shortly after. But it is not looking good for the Dirk.
Yeah, you're gonna route if you want to route in Turtle Rock and Spike Cave. That's the efficient way to do it, is to do Turtle Rock first and just hope the progression shows up. You don't have to do Spike Cave, but us being in no mode, we do know where that mirror is.
No flute, so we're gonna save and quit to the mountain. Save and click to our house. Ooh, Ruby wants to get what does Ruby want to get out of the way? Catfish? Oof.
Is it catfish, or is it using this to get the bomb portal, the big bomb? That's probably better to go down to the
catfish. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough. That's just additional time.
I mean, if it's here and you can go mode Turtle Rock, that's good. You might think, well, my opponent might have checked this coming right out of Aga Tower. I don't want to lose too much time, but if you spent 30-40 minutes avoiding it, might not be a good check. But it's pretty quick with boots, so let's check it here. And there is that book for WGarrison in the U room.
10 arrows from a fish.
And if they did have that mirror, sorry, I was thinking about some other routing thing, but they still don't have that mirror there. That is their go mode, and have to find their way up to the mountain to get that.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they're running to right now.
And WGarrison taking the rarely seen fairy pot here in Ice Palace. If you drop down here, you get some fairies.
I think Ruby is gonna finish pod. One item is still on the boss.
Okay, and then probably realizing they have
They
Turtle
have
Rock
Turtle Rock
access.
access.
Yeah, so we have the tracker here on our side. Shout outs to IB Karma for keeping us tracked here. I'm not sure maybe if Ruby didn't mark Ice Rod or the medallion or something like that, and then realize, oh, I can just beat this dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, shout outs to our restreamer, our Terrell. Thank you very much for helping us put on this show today.
Garrison decided to set fire to the coal loud as well. Ruby? Oh, he's going to do ether right away. Wow, he is just cruising right to ether.
Okay, interesting. So this might actually put them right into Spike Cave. You know, now that you are on this side of the mountain, it's probably 6 one way, half a dozen the other to do Spike Cave before, but nope.
He wanted to do that before going into Turtle Rock because he's in Light World, and once he goes into the portal, he won't have mirror.
Yeah, that checks out.
WGarrison running over to desert and gonna get his cane real quick in here. I guess it's slightly fortunate Ruby, when he finds that mirror, will have a go mode swamp, but has another mountain climb ahead of him.
Yeah, Go Mode Swamp does feel good, but not as good as climbing the mountain twice feels bad.
Yeah. It's hard to say how much faster full clear TR is between that and just doing TR normally. You do have to check most everything. I think the biggest difference is the fact that you can skip Laser Bridge if you're in Go mode. But I'm not sure we're going to see Garrison do that, being only at 2 swords. And neither of them have found an armor upgrade as well.
Yeah, so I'd be checking all the chests. Maybe 3 out of 4 Laser Bridge. That last one can always be a little hairy with the beetle running around, but and especially if it's a vanilla big key, like in Lava Chest, you're going to have to check the big chest, and you're not really going to save any time over your opponent, who is also going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But there is the big key there, and I believe that's map chest in Turtle Rock. Anyways, it's the one chest, not the 2.
Did find a blue mail at Argus, so Garrison is on blue.
Thanks to ignored Twitcher in chat for pointing that out.
And at 17 and some change, it looks like Garrison is in Go mode. It is a Master Sword Go mode, and I have no doubts he can do it, but having a tempered for the climb and the pig is definitely a lot better.
Yeah, we do have a couple of bottles on both sides, but no flute, so not really easy way to route in or just fly over to the potion shop and just restock on those. And I think both of them did not get the bug net, so they're going to be climbing without any fairies in their bottles too.
I think both of them are sitting on maybe one green potion left, I believe is what they found. Ooh.
Oh,
Ruby taking a death to those skulls. Those skulls hit for like 4 damage or something ridiculous there.
yeah, that is not a fun room either. There's a lot of RNG in that except for the bunny beam, but everything else is just kind of going everywhere and you don't know what to expect until you see it.
And Garrison grabbing his 6 crystal off the landmows. Silver arrows do quick work of him. And he is going up the mountain for the last time, it sounds like. Still gonna save and quit because I'm pretty sure the flute is just stuck in GT. We'll probably find it while looking for the big key.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. And we see WGarrison checking their bottles. They have 2 empty bottles, and then they are going to make a little pit stop here. This is the best time to do it. You don't want to do it after Total Rock. So here we go. Oh, and Zaruvyen has opened up a lot of chests. Of course, they're still looking for the mirror go mode, so it could be anywhere.
Yeah, it could be here between this and the crystal roller and big chest. One of them has to have a small key, but the other 2 can be anything. So Garrison filling up on blues. Blue potion, the drink of links everywhere.
I guess I picked up a 3rd bottle along the way, too. I think I saw them buy 3.
Yeah, I think we found Wonkrox. I don't remember. Wonkrox was the first one. Wonkrox, I think we bought a blue from...
The bottle vendor actually gave us, yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or I'm just seeing things, but at least 2, maybe 3 blue bottles on their way up to go mode Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it's more blue than you need. But always feels good to have it.
For sure. So, Zaruvyen here into the Chain Chomp room. This could be a key, doesn't have to be. It's a shield.
On the dead rock. Easiest dark room in the game if you don't have the lamp.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a little map up, though, on the side of your game, just in case you get into trouble. Thankfully, we found the lamp early, because this was an Aga Tower seed.
The one blessing of it being an Aga seed is you can't miss the lamp. 4th key is on Laser Bridge. That's typical. We finding a tempered there. That's going to be a boon for Garrison too, and powder safety bridge. So you're going into GT with tempered silvers. That's pretty much all you can ask for.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Now that laser bridge key was on the first one, so we will see if Garrison does pick up and go and check 2 or 3 more chests on laser bridge. I wouldn't be surprised if they skipped it, to be honest.
I don't know. That's a hard skip for me if I'm in go mode on Master Sword. They are right there, and I have a cane.
Yeah, it's definitely justifiable to just check those, and I would doubt they would check the 4th one after getting the sword, but we'll see. Zaruvyen here, putting that tempered sword to good use. 5 spins on each of the ice and fire head here. Excuse me,
Nice
5
and
slashes.
quick. So here's the make or break point. Does he go to Spike Cave after this?
This would be the time to go and mop up Spike Cave. I think they have like the boss of Pod and Pyramid Fairy left. That's
They
about
do
it.
not have much. That is for sure.
But that is their 6th crystal. They are on the hunt for their mirror and appear to be going to get it right now.
This looks like the play to Spike Cave. So go mode Swamp plus a mountain climb. Garrison's on the back half of TR. Definitely going to have a lead going into GT. We'll have to see how big of a lead that is.
Yeah, without looking, I would guess it's probably in the 2 to 3 minute lead range here.
Yeah, this is not insurmountable with the GT routing, though. You got it, Ruby. Now let's do a swamp.
And the curse of the Agaseed showing itself again when you save and quit in the Dark World with that mirror. You are put on top of the pyramid. So Garrison might not even check Laser Bridge. Oh, sorry, they need to use that one key. So yeah, the fact that they're going to be on that screen, I think they're definitely going to have to check at least one chest.
Yep.
One other chest in Laser Bridge. So Zaruvyen needs to be using as little time as possible. Hopefully they don't muscle memory the map chest here in Swamp or anything. They're probably going to open up like Diver Down Room and a couple of chests just along the way, but they need to be booking it through this 7th crystal.
Yep, they are going to have a fast swamp, but Garrison is basically done, and he is going to get his tempered sword. Not grabbing the powder, but I don't think it matters with the number of blue potions that he has on his person.
Yeah, Garrison is in pretty good shape. Gets the nice double Samaria crystal switch there.
And 5 slashes on blue.
Remembers to switch to Fire Rod before the Fire Head went down.
4 slashes on the other one, which is also blue, and I got my colors backwards. And nice quick kill on phase 3.
All right, so the boss is down about 127. They're going to be out of here about 127.15, I would say. So Zaruvyen's probably about a minute and a half behind, and then another mountain climb. Not GT climb, mountain climb.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're one who likes to gamble, put number in chat, 1 through 22, where the GT key might be, and if we see you're right, we'll give you some internet points.
It's a quick jump over there, so he's already opening that pretty tower.
And will Garrison go left or right first? They are going to go left.
First check, just 10 arrows. Yeah, Stealthos room. It's always here. But, well, Flute is here. And more money. So first 5. Lots of nothing. We're going to see Dark Magician or Fake Dark Magician? Whatever you want to call it. Compass Room Rush.
And no key in Hope Room, so this is the best way if you want to do right side first. So yeah, Zaruvyen about couple minutes behind there. Do you know what routes they used to or they prefer in GT?
Ruby might do full left if he's feeling spicy. He definitely feels like he's behind. I imagine after getting that mirror, he might just do full left again. Let's see here. These last 4 in Compass. It's here in Compass. So if he does go full left, that'll seal the deal for him.
Yeah, that with checking the Stealthos room, that was the best way since there was no key in Hope Room. I guess you could have grabbed the free key and then just gone to the right, but
Oh man, it's hard.
Don't see that very often.
It's hard to see if Ruby's gonna go. I don't know if they're gonna do Stealthos to Compass. I don't know if that's a strategy that they like a lot. I think Ruby will do Hope Room into Stealthos full left.
Yeah, that's usually a way to be able to full clear left. You usually get enough keys that you can go through there. There's a slight possibility you get locked out, but it's not very common.
No, not with the 2 keys in Stealthos.
Yeah, definitely not happening this seed.
Ruby gets in about 3 minutes behind. And we have Garrison on the climb. Gonna nail through 5 rooms of just kind of annoying enemies that like to just wander away from you. The enemies themselves like do no damage, it's just the BMOs just shooting you the whole time. Like that one. Oh, nice arrow.
Yeah, I guess this gauntlet could be a lot worse if it was just full of red guards or something like that. That's sort of auto aggro as soon as you walk in. Aggro.
Oh, Ruby is doing Dark Magician strats. Oh, interesting. Not gonna lose any time to this. Ooh. Gauntlet 5. That one Stealthos, if you miss him on the first shot, he just goes wherever the heck he wants. Good 1 cycle Landmo, and we're up to 4-5. I think it's 5.
Yeah, and Garrison getting some magic, some arrows, and a heart. They got 3 bottles in tow, all with blue goo. Still want to make sure they have enough magic to get through these rooms. Nice whiz robes too there. And onto the fire clock room.
Fire clock, that's a good way to look at it. I like it.
Time is just click, click, clicking. Thankfully, we do not have the jingle glitch here, which can happen. Oh, almost actually happened there to Garrison. They did patch out the fact that if you go up those stairs at the exact minute, or sorry, exact pixel that those torches go out, it will despawn the tower, but that does not happen anymore.
Ruby did find his big key and is on his way climbing up behind, a couple floors down. And we are going to see Mr. Moldorm number 2. First Moldorm didn't have anything this seed, but, you know, we beat him up anyways. Beat up this one as well. And on to the second time we see Aghanim. We enjoyed him so much, we decided to invite him back for a sequel.
And he brought a couple of his friends.
Nice double on the first one. That wasn't our super good pattern. This is pretty. Lining straight up the middle.
That was at least 2. I think that third one might have got eaten.
Yeah, I think it got eaten too.
Oh.
That's a tough pattern to 3 cycle in. Gets it in 4 though. That's probably as good as you can hope for this one. That was a lot of rough patterns.
And Zaruvyen also gets a 1-cycle land mode there. Very nice with those silver arrows.
Nice, nice. On to the pig for Garrison. Drinking up before hopping in. Always need a nice glass of booze before going for the pig. I think he missed the 1-1. Yeah. Getting it through a trident again, but we're on to phase 2. So he's just gonna swing away. Ooh, the lag frames. He's going for the 12 hits, so.
Yeah, doing it slow and steady is better than dying on Ganon, so. And with a couple of blue potions, not worried about consuming too much magic.
Yep, they get the 2-1. Moving on. Oh no, silvers! My one true weakness. Oh, he did a fire rod shot into the wall. Thankfully, we got more drink, more blue drink.
Oh, nice dodge of those fire bats. Gets Ganon into stun phase again. Hopefully, get a double here for the last 4.
Half magic and pre-Moldorm chest. So Zaru has half magic. But those silvers stick a fork in that pig and it's done.
Get your GGs in chat for WGarrison. And by the way, that was a nice triple there on the second cycle of Agas. But Garrison has won this with an official racetime.gg time of 1:36:53.
GG's. That puts Dark Side of the Triforce up to 12 points for this league tournament.
Yeah, and they have tied up the first place in Ganon's Tower Division. Oops All Foxes now at 4-1. Dark Side of the Triforce also at 4-1 with 12 points apiece.
That breaks all the undefeateds, I believe, in the Ganon Sour bracket too. So, spicy bracket. A lot of good runners in it.
Yeah, and Acai is there at 9 points, and I don't think they've played any of their games this week, but certainly in the running to come in the top 2 and make the playoffs here in this division.
We got Zaruvyen going on to his Ganon fight. Looks to be think at the pace he's going, it's going to be about 2.5, 3 minutes. That looks about the difference. Not the biggest time difference in the world for as long as he put off that mirror, but that was definitely the deciding factor in this race.
Yeah, and that mirror sort of had Garrison dip out of pod when they did find those flippers, so they also didn't have to do all of pod, which eats up about maybe a minute and a half or 2 minutes. So that also provided a big difference here. Honestly, Zaruvyen did pretty close for having basically last located that mirror.
Yeah, there wasn't much left. They probably could have gone back into pod and cleared it. I mean, fortunately, Meyer was off the table without the fluke, but Zaruvyen also didn't do those flipper or those mirror lock spots too. So, because Garrison did have a chance to go do those, but GG's in chat. Zaruvyen has finished up.
Yes, the whole way through GT.
And we welcome WGarrison and Zaruvyen as Zaruvyen crosses the bridge. GG.
GG.
And we're welcomed in the commentary booth with Garrison. How you doing?
I'm shaking. I'm absolutely shaking. This was the premier matchup in our division. I think that Oops All Foxes is the top 1 or 2 team in our division, and I knew this race was going to be really difficult. So
you could have swapped the screens left and right for the first 45 minutes, and no one would be able to have told the difference. Step for step for the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, you guys were right there.
I don't know. I look pretty different from a wyvern.
From a fox, clearly. So, yeah, GG's to you, Garrison. You guys have taken the win in this, pushing Dark Side of the Triforce to 12 points, 4-1 record, and tied for first in the division. So how you feeling? Nervous? Excited?
All of the above. With Kaz boots, especially since there's a lot of opportunity to skip things, like you're always worried that somebody found a faster route, and then with Zaruvyen on top of that, if we found the same route, I don't feel comfortable with that either. So, just as soon as I hit GT, my nerves just went on overdrive.
Well, you did find the right route to the big key. We clocked about a 3-minute time difference, and you pretty much held on to that through GT. But yeah, the biggest difference in the early game before AGA was Zaruvyen, you did Agina, which was maybe about 30 seconds, but then when WGarrison found that mirror on the trip up the mountain was sort of where you guys super diverged.
Oh yeah, one person finding a mirror and the other person just going wherever, getting whatever they can with what's available. Yeah, the mirror makes a lot of checks a lot easier to do, including Palace of Darkness, which had our flippers today.
Yeah, Garrison went into Palace of Darkness and dipped out after getting those flippers. Took the gamble that there was nothing else in the back and just went for Swamp afterwards. Ended up paying off pretty good for him.
So there were still a couple items that I needed. I knew I needed Ether, I needed Cane of Samaria, and I needed either Book or Flute. But if I had picked up any of those 3 items first, they don't unlock enough for me to bail out of there. But with flippers, I'm like, that's 2 crystal dungeons in Logic. I got to get out of here. Especially, so when I picked up that mirror in Spike Cave, that was actually when I saw that, I'm like, this is a very skippable mirror. So you probably saw the first thing I did was like basically all of the mirror checks with a weird looking Smith chain.
Right.
I did enjoy you bringing the purple chest up to Graveyard Ledge. That is one of the first times I've seen that happen.
And almost leaving it in the Dark World.
I have never done that before, so it I had to like think about what I was doing, so it wasn't very efficient, but I wanted to get those mirror checks out of the way because I'm like, this is mirror, this is my advantage. Zaruvyen might skip this if I find everything else leading to go mode behind this mirror. I'm good. And then none of those mirror checks amounted to anything. I'm like, all right, pod just has to be done. When I got flippers, I'm like, that puts the biggest mirror check of all back into logic swamp. I'm getting in there. Swamp didn't have it either. It was in ice.
Yeah, it was odd because Mirror was Zaruvyen's go mode. They ended up being able to clear 6 crystals before finding it.
I ended up getting to go mode swamp, which is every runner's dream.
Yeah, that did let you get a lot of the time back. WGarrison had to go back in for left side swamp, or just saying I don't want to leave anything here, which is very justifiable. I'd be interested to see you guys' collection rates, because the mirror, even though will let you route efficiently and stuff like that, you guys just kind of did different checks for the last half of the game, so
Both of
you're
you
probably
had
pretty close.
Yeah, both of you had identical routes in GT, so neither of you gained or lost time there. Yeah, I think it was like Zaruvyen gained a lot of time from their pod dip just by go moding swamp, but they did have to climb the mountain a third time.
Yeah, with getting the mirror after doing TR, I ended up having to do another climb. And that time I got dead rocked on my way. So it wasn't just a climb, it was a diversion up Super Bunny to get to GT.
Seeing the collection rates pop up, 146 for WGarrison. That's pretty sizable for casual boots.
We ended up clearing a lot. I mean, we definitely got to skip the entirety of my area with Flute being in GT. We took the correct route through GT, so we got the minimum checks there. But I cleared pretty much everything but Hera Basement, Catfish, and the back of Pod, and whatever was left over in TR.
I'm actually curious, Zaruvyen, why didn't you do Pyramid Fairy?
I keep losing.
I thought about it. You saw me look at my menu and go, And I was like,
Yeah,
there's no way that I'm doing Pyramid Fairy anything except outside of Swamp, and Swamp's probably go mode, so I'm thinking Mirror's not there.
I skipped Hera Basement, but Spike
That's
Cave
fair.
I did.
I banked on
Yeah.
TR with the backup of Spike Cave, and go figure. Spike Cave's my go mode, so I'm gonna lose to Spike Cave 9 out of 10 times. It's, it's just how it goes.
I was coming down for Spike Cave.
I'm
with
sorry.
half of a heart.
I
that is
did
a
mention
One
I
heart
did mention
Spike-
that we had a race last night with a very similar situation.
And it's one of those locations that if I don't do it early, I'm just gonna lose to it. End of story. Not
It's
much
a
you
rough
can really say.
It's a rough spot, I agree. Yeah, Garrison's heads up play to get that done the first time he was up the mountain, definitely.
Also, shout out to Garrison for doing Spike Cave on 1.5 hearts and
yeah,
not dying.
that was spicy. You took a hit from the Lionel, you had a half heart, you got no luck from the bushes besides a single extra heart, and you're chugging green in the Spike Cave.
Some people don't know, but the space right behind the torches don't have spikes. So I had to like duck behind the torch to chug a green to keep going.
Yeah, you don't have to be grabbing it. You can just be planted right there.
Yeah.
Interesting. Good to know. Good knowledge. See, you can learn something from the interviews, chat.
And Zaruvyen's collection is coming up, 152. Couple more extra checks.
That I say would be the back of Pod, I say.
Yeah.
That's 6 checks back there.
That's 6
Yeah.
checks and a trade of Swamp to Mirror checks, is what that is.
Well, I'm thinking now, I didn't do Pyramid Fairy either, but I was when I was in Cane of Samaria Go mode, I was thrilled to see
Right.
that Cold Stare had the small key, which meant I never had to go there.
Yeah, we were wondering if you were gonna take that into account if you analyze that being cane locked.
Nice heads up play there.
Alrighty. So yeah, you guys have any final comments, questions, concerns?
I'm kind of looking forward to tomorrow's race now between John, Snoo, and Adalor. Again, our team matches up, and it's going to be another tough one. Like I said, we're the two titans in the division clashing this week, so it's going to be good.
It's exciting. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock Eastern, we do have Adalor and Jon Snoo facing off. I don't know if they're doing a restream for them, though, but I'm excited all the same.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. If you're looking for other restreams, I believe on Link to the Past Randomizer League 2 right now, there's a matchup between Zeeb's Frog Bar and Guardians of the Galaxy Brain. And another race in about 2 hours, 12:11 a.m. Eastern. Aga's Backup Dancers versus 2,000 Years to the Past. And of course, there's a bunch of restreams every day. Check out the schedule, join the Discord, subscribe on Twitch, hit those notifications for all your Link to the Past randomizer action.
Alrighty, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks again to the runners. Make sure you go follow WGarrison and Zaruvyen. They've been amazing, showing off, practicing their skills, and nailing through a boot seat in under 140. And yeah, I've been Chloe Prower with my co-commentator, Dapper Wormman, and our tracker was IB Karma. And our restreamer today was Art Terrell.